I am live. Hello. Is the audio quality good? Not sure. Hello there. Alright, I will wait a tiny bit to allow everyone to jump in, or at least those people who want to jump in. Actually, one. Hello. Hello. Nice to see you. Welcome back to another stream. Today I will be working on the color. And I think you'll be pleased to find that how I've been? More or less good. Tiny bit tired, but that's just life. What about you? Yeah. In the meantime, I think you guys will be pleased to find that I now have color. Sort of. I have something akin to color. Hopefully. That I will now try to use in this painting. Drawing. So, as for the base color, I'm gonna go with a tiny bit dark. It's kind of grayish blue, which I do not mind at all. Wrong one. Once again, wrong one. Huh. Okay. I am silly. I forgot to disable that layer to actually see what's going on. You know, that's not a bad color. That is not a bad color at all. No, I actually probably should jot these down because I will most likely end up forgetting if I do not. You're tired too. Understandable. I hope you managed to. Ah! Sorry. Hope you managed to rest well. At least during this stream, but nope. Anywho, yeah, a tiny bit about this design. I actually went through quite a long process to finally figure out which one I want. Because, surprise, surprise, it's not easy to decide that thing. I originally went with something akin to what I had previously, so the lighter design. But I don't know, that didn't sit right with me. Maybe it was the contrast or just the colors were too vibrant, but overall they just didn't feel right for the whole. And so I went with a bit darker colors. And this is the one that I ended up with in the end. I actually quite like how this one turned out. Also, you might have noticed that I'm using a completely different application to color stuff. It's actually a notepad application. I usually use it because it allows me to dim down the line art and color under the whole thing, which often gives quite unexpected results and really helps me with the whole color aspect. Also, I'm making sure that the outline of the different color is made with the same brush that I did the line art with. thus making it a tiny bit less jarring when it comes to the shift. It looks very pretty. Aw, thank you. Oh yeah, and another detail. Yeah, it's probably not that prominent yet, but there is this section that is actually an existing constellation. It's Ursa Major, and it's one of my absolute favorites. It was one of the first constellations that I've learned to distinguish. Plus, when it comes to navigation, it's a more important one too. You may notice that the tail doesn't exactly have much of a transition here, but unfortunately I do kinda need it if I don't want to just cut it off like... That looks very stupid. Just the other way around. Alright, oh well, that's fine. Are you having any tea? And we have a tiny little shoe, I guess, at the bottom. Might as well just... No! I'm not gonna cross the line. I do not wish to cross the line. Alright, now the only thing that needs to be added with this blue is the tip of the tails, which I'll do with a bigger brush so that it's a bit easier to add spikes. Yeah, like that. I think the whole of this one can be blue, and not much can be seen from the last one. Ooh, what kind of tea are you gonna make? I actually have a cup of tea too. It's an herbal tea that I actually don't know the name of. It doesn't have a packaging, it was just laying around in my house. And I picked it up. I was like, yep, this is the tea I'm having today. And as you can see, or hear, this is the tea I'm having today. It actually tastes nice. Although herbal teas do sometimes taste a bit like grass. Call me weird, but I don't exactly mind that. Now just to fill back in the snout and the ears. With a tiny bit of a bigger brush, actually. I don't 100% remember how I intended this here, but that's okay. I think it was something like this. Yeah. Grass's taste. You know, I am not going to judge your taste. Grass is indeed very tasty. I mean, I am drinking it, so I'm also not judging my taste. Anyways, what kind of tea are you gonna make for yourself? Ah, it's so hard to get curves right. Especially if you're trying to put them into perspective. Oh, this one is a nice song. What's the name of this one? Older by Mac K. I will have to write that down. Sorry. Ooh, raspberry. Is that just a fruit tea, or is it like green tea raspberry? Raspberry green tea? Or white tea? Or maybe even black tea? Oolong, raspberry matcha. Raspberry matcha sounds nice. Is there raspberry matcha out there? Older? Song name successfully written down. Now back to suffering with curves. Oh yeah, with Art Fight approaching, I thought I would talk about a tiny bit about it because, well, I haven't seen much. I did notice the news popping up that apparently Art Fight now has a new rule that people are not very approving of. I think it has something to do with 3D models and not being allowed to use 3D models for references, which is mildly strange. Not sure why if that is actually the rule, which, mind you, I haven't read it yet, so don't take my word for it, please. I am warning you. But yeah, if that is the rule, I am not exactly understanding why that is a rule. I mean, yeah, tracing over 3D references is... Actually, no, it's not cheating. It's just using a tool. Although tracing is not good. But then again, they are tools to help you make better drawings. Ooh, fruity mixed with hemp. That sounds tasty. That sounds extremely tasty. I hope you enjoy your tea. But yeah, to be fair, if you pose the 3D model yourself and maybe even make the 3D model yourself, then I feel like that should not be a problem. Curious. Do you know anything about this by any chance? Or are you just as clueless as me? Yeah, that's a nice middle color. Actually, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I kinda understand too, but at the same time, not sure. Seems off, especially with many people seeming to be discouraged by it. It feels off. Something feels strange about it. So I'm trying to find the color that fits this better. You know what? I like this one. I like that one. Anyways, since you are just as clueless as me, since Artfight is approaching, there are a lot of videos out there that are specifically there to help beginners get acquainted with the rules. If you want, you can take a look at those. I put some on the to watch list. Hopefully once I'm over my busy period, I will actually get to them and, you know, understand what I'm signing up for. Oh, look at the little earpiece. So cute. looks nice. That genuinely looks nice. Luna approves. Luna approves while drawing Luna. How's that? Anyways, back a tiny bit back to the art fight topic. I know that tracing is not good. It's just one way to get someone else's drawing and then just simply claim it as your own. I understand why people would not necessarily want it. It's basically stealing just with extra steps. Kinda like counterfeit goods. Yeah, I think tracing is kinda like making counterfeit goods, because if you think about it, counterfeit goods are like imitations of the real thing, just sold at a usually higher price or the same price, so that people would believe that, yes, this is in fact the oh great necklace of who knows who. Yeah, that looks nice. And it's just the same with art. If you think about it, when you trace over somebody's art, you are pretending it's yours without it truly being yours, because most of the effort was put in by the original artist. And while yes, you do put in effort as well, it's not exactly equivalent. I don't know why that looks so scratchy. Probably because of the line art. I made a scratchy line art and now the coloring looks scratchy too. But it's fine. I think that looks good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into line art and get the tiny section off because it's annoying the heck out of me. And now draw it back in a better way. Yeah, like that. And now I will fix that up a tiny bit more. Great. Absolutely great. Anywho, I'm pretty excited for Art Fight soon being here. I've been seeing more and more videos pop up of how to participate in Art Fight, rules, regulations, and it just really got me hyped. I think that looks good. Aw, you also feel the hype. Do not forget to make characters and character sheets. It's one of the more important parts of preparing. Because if you do not have characters, then what are you gonna do? I think that's about correct. Yeah, like that. And now the only thing remaining is the bootsies. Boot. Look at the boot. Would you look at that? We have a full-on... Oh, wait. I forgot. This isn't empty. I forgot that this isn't empty. Apologies. We almost have it. Okay. Now we have a full-on character. Wait. Almost forgot your eye color. Wouldn't using this be fine? I know the drawing doesn't have an eye on this one. Huh. You know, it actually looks kinda nice. But anyways, I'm not adding it because there's no eye and I don't want the eye to be a focus. The eye should remain unfocused. And that's our final 4 colors. To be honest, it's not that far off from the original one. Just one less. I did hear that having less colors is usually better. Not better, but keeping designs simple helps them stick in people's memories. That's what I'm trying to do here as well. Anywho, base design added, so now this will go into sketches. Thank you. And now I will get rid of the evidence of the old. Nothing to see here. This was always the original. Yep. And don't forget to save. Now. What's next? Because I can technically start coloring the background. I am still mildly intimidated by that though. But you know what? That is fine. Because... oh yeah, if anyone... this was the base. Or at least part of the original. I mean, it wasn't bad per se. Actually, with the current base color, it would have kinda looked nice, I think. But yeah, you are getting deleted. You know, maybe for starters I should experiment a tiny bit with what kind of color I want for the background. Oh, come on. Alright. So, originally, if I remember correctly, I said that it would be night. Why do I have a feeling that my poor computer is having a hard time loading? Buddy, it's not even that big. Oh, no, I'm just silly. Absolutely not. Nah, that's still too... Nah. Could work. Nah. Should probably stay dark. Huh. No, I don't like that. I don't know why, but I do not like it. This one kind of feels alright. Let me just check something. Huh, we have Gaussian blur. I did not know that. Is there no way to check for the hole? Nope. Go back. There's random noise. Ooh! Ooh. You know, that kinda looks like stars. Well, this is not what I'm going to be using. That I have to admit, that looks very cool. Nah, cancel. I just wanna be able... Actually... Am I silly? I could be silly. Dang it. Cannot apply it to this one. I should. Ooh. Yeah, I'm mildly experimenting right now. Anyways, sorry about that. I just want to see if there's any way in which I can check the saturation of the hole without having to take a screenshot, go outside of Krita, and then do stuff. I should probably save beforehand. You know, I really should learn how to use this. You know what? It's fine. This color will be fine. It's probably gonna undergo a bunch of changes anyways, so maybe it doesn't. It's not even worth worrying about it right now. All right. You know, that's the perfect cloud tool. How did I want to make the clouds again? Line art, come back on, please. Okay, so it's a downward flow. That's alright. That should be fine. I kinda like this color. You know, I'm just thinking, but I maybe should add this on a different layer in case I mess things up. Smaller. actually don't know how to draw clouds that well, but I am trying. Okay, fun thing I discovered. If I don't press a lot, it looks like this. If I press a lot, it looks like this. Oh my gosh, I love pressure sensitivity. I don't think there should be more clouds in the background. I think this is enough. And now to think over the colors, because I do want to add, you know, highlights, because surprise, surprise, the moon shines. But what color should it be? Yellow, perhaps? Aggressive yellow. Oh yeah, by the way, what I'm doing right now is something I've learned recently. Basically, it's a technique that says that if you have a background and you want to add a certain colored item into it, instead of just going like... I messed that one up, but it's fine. Instead of just going like, whoop, add the yellow into it, that's gonna look off, right? It doesn't look nice. But if you go and apply a very thin layer of low opacity, very thin layer of that color on the surface you want to include on low opacity. Then pick the color you get there. It is going to fit much better, because it's not gonna be intrusive and it immediately sets to the color that we would normally see. Well, not normally see, but what our eyes assume to be that color. So here as well, I'm using yellow, right? This ain't yellow, but this looks yellow, right? It's cool. Look at it. Look at how cool it is. Look at how cool that is. Yeah, I'm weird, don't mind me. I know I'm not going to ever be able to see those clouds since the moon covers it, but you know what, that's fine. I still want to color it. Why? Because I adore wasting my own time. It's called procrastination. You think it's cool too? Thank you! I'm glad that someone agrees. I do want to add a bit lighter opacity one though, because not lighter opacity, but like I just want to be able to add something that actually brightens up the whole thing. So I might abandon this in a tiny bit. We'll see how this one fares. You know, I want to highlight the ones closest because they deserve to be highlighted. I'm not doing a very good job of highlighting. You know, this does not look nice. I am retreating. I am retreating into the safety of the previously used method because that one might make it look better. I do not like the sharp edges. The sharp edges make it stand out in a way that I do not want it to stand out in. of less liking how this one is coming along. Now for me to do something else. I am going to do what is the most painful. Cover up the actually good looking clouds. Okay, no, these one looks good as well, but these ones look extra good. And now to rip off the band-aid early, I am going to do that. I'm going to rip off the band-aid early and just cover up the clouds before I get too attached. But it's not all that bad. I at least got to see no. Gosh darn it. Oh well. That's fine. I messed up, but that is fine. Wrong layer. The line art will be changed at the very end, most likely, but for now for ease of seeing things as they are, I'm using black. Hope people will forgive me for that, but even if not much I can do. No, I want something lighter. Something that actually gives me the excuse of why I'm drawing it like that, okay? Wait a minute, the moon glows. Oh, I am a silly goose. I can just... Since the moon glows, the rule doesn't apply to it now, does it? Or at least, probably not as rigorously. Mm-hmm. I see. Yep. Better. I will need to fix this. There are ways to make custom brushes in Krita, and I'm planning on eventually getting to that part and, you know, making the custom brush, or at least this brush right here, more suited to my needs, because I do not like having to Control-C, Control-V my way through life when it comes to line art, because the line art is way too hacky and opaque. For a moment I forgot my words there, it's okay. The Luna is having a mental breakdown, it's fine. What am I having a mental breakdown over? Line art. Are we doing line art currently? No. It's gonna be fun when I finally add the stars. But for now we are focusing on clouds and the moon, which is fine. I am patient. And now let me just slap the Luna back in. I know it looks absolutely gorgeous with the very non-detailed clouds that feel, okay, not realistic, but somewhat akin to realistic, and then just a cartoon fox sitting on a cartoon cloud. I know it's absolutely beautiful. But trust me, it will get better. I am a perfectionist, down to my very being. I am not going to let it look off. According to my standards, at least. If there are any big artists out there who are watching my stream, apologies for hurting your eyes. I am trying. I'm trying my best, I promise. I'm trying to constantly improve and whatnot, but well, that process is unfortunately slow. Especially if I only get to draw like once or twice a week. Which is mildly depressing, but we do not talk about that. My tea is gone. That's very sad. Alright. I am not yet satisfied with how these don't exactly look like the moon is glowing. So I am going to try and add... Okay, to be fair, the moon is not gonna be glowing with the power of 1,000 suns. But, you know, it's still glowing. And if it's glowing, then even if it's a soft glow, it needs to be apparent, but I mean, it is mildly apparent. It kinda looks like it's glowing. It's not that obvious yet, though. So we're gonna try and fix that. And I think we're gonna try and fix that with something that's almost white. Off-white, if you will. And I'm gonna try and be more precise, especially on the closer ones. Now get rid of that sharp edge. Not completely though. Too sharp. I don't mind if it has a bit of sharpness to it. I just don't want it to be. Oh yeah, I think that's starting to be there. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Still, I'm fairly certain that this is a mature level to quite a few people out there. And, you know, something that looks pretty to someone might not necessarily look pretty to someone else. I was trying to make a joke. I know this is probably not as horrendous as I'm making it out to be sometimes. But still, it's not like a Mona Lisa either. Okay. Ah. It is unfortunately 4:30, so with that, I unfortunately have to be off. This is the final product. I was drawing on the wrong layer. Okay, that's fine. It is fine. You know what? The clouds are not that off from the moon anyway. I'll fix it next time. It's fine. Oh god, never mind. It's okay. It's okay, this is fine. Anyways, this is the final product. Thank you for joining in. I hope you liked. I hope you liked it. And see you next week. Goodbye.